नमस्कार, मैं अशोक व्यास हूँ और मेरे साथ जुड़ने वाले हैं डॉक्टर अतुल चोकसी जी और हम बात करने वाले हैं संत कबीर जी की। कबीरदास जी का एक दोहा याद आता है, ऐसी करनी कर चलो, जब हम जाएं तो फिर जग रोए, इस तरह की कुछ बात है। पर उसके अलावा दोहों के साथ साथ जो उनका व्यक्तित्व था और वाराणसी के साथ का उनका संबंध था और सबको साथ लेकर चलने वाली जो बात थी, वो सारी बातें भी अपने स्थान पर महत्वपूर्ण है ऐतिहासिक पृष्ठभूमि की दृष्टि से। पर मुख्य बात यह है कि कबीर हमें जो बात ऐसी दे रहे हैं जो कि आज भी रेलेवेंट है, प्रासंगिक है। तो प्रासंगिकता जो हमारे अध्यात्म की है, उसके संबंध में एकेडमी ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल साइंसेस के द्वारा डॉक्टर अतुल चोकसी जी ने जो कुछ अनुसंधान के साथ साथ अनुष्ठान करने का बीड़ा उठाया है, उस क्रम में एक विशेष ध्यान कबीरदास जी पर देने का क्रम हुआ। उसका साथ लेते हुए आपका स्वागत। और डॉक्टर साहब, कबीरदास जी का ये दोहा जो है वो मैं आपके साथ
Yes.
याद करना चाहूंगा कि पोथी पढ़ पढ़ जग हुआ और पंडित भया न कोय, ढाई आखर प्रेम का पढ़े सो पंडित होए। तो आपने जो प्रेम आपका कबीरदास जी के लिए डेवलप हुआ, उसका मूल कहाँ पर है, वहां से बात शुरू करते हैं।
This greatest saint and a poet of our time, uh, had influence on me since my childhood. So, like most of us, we have heard these dohas during the school time, and we all are aware about it. So I developed a profound love for him, and I went a little bit in details. So that's why we arranged a symposium at the institute.
Wonderful. So I also want to know, you have been reading and sharing the essence of Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Patanjali Yoga Sutra, etc. And do you find there is a overlap in terms of the insight that is coming from Sant Kabir as well as what you find in our scriptures?
Sant Kabir Das ji has, during his lifetime, he dissipated this message, our spiritual teachings of Vedas, Upanishads, and all the scriptures in a very simple language which general public can understand. So it is very simple. It is self-explanatory most of the time, and it is self-signing dohas, we call couplets.
I'm glad Academy of Spiritual Sciences agreed to my request for having some series on Kabir Das ji, which is what we are calling Sant Kabir ke Dohon ka Saar Rang. So as we move towards the essence, how would you like to begin with this one? जैसे तिल में तेल है.
So the first one. So
जी जी जी.
so so see here that Sant Kabir Das ji is explaining to the mankind essentially that the Lord that we are seeking is within us. So this doha is very very lovely, and it says jo nenu me putli मालिक त्यों मालिक घट माही मूर्ख लोग न जान ही बाहर ढूंढ न जाही. So meaning thereby like the pupils in our eyes that we don't see, but through the eyes we see the whole world. Similarly, the Lord Almighty resides within us, and there is no need to search for him outside. So he calls the people who are kind of trying to find God in the world as a Murakh log na jani. They don't understand this truth, but otherwise the God resides within us. And
Beautiful.
then he says that he resides within us, but you have to work on manifesting that divinity. So that's where he says, जो 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 तिल में तेल जैसे चकमक में आग, तेरा साई तुझ में है, जाग सके तो जाग. Because the God is with us and within us, but we have to realize that we have to make an effort, because it is not easily otherwise perceptible. So that's why like in sesame seed there is oil is hidden. Similarly, so that is in chakmak, this flint stone, there is a fire is hidden there. God is hidden within us, And he says, man, if you can wake up and work a little bit, you will realize God. Then there is another very famous doha. He says, Sahab teri sahabi, har ghat mein hai samay, jo mehendi ke paat mein lali rakha na jaye. It's also one of the famous dohas. That like in the mehendi leaves, you don't see the redness, but to see the redness, you have to work on it, you have to crush it, you have to make a paste and you have to put it in your palms, and then the redness will come. Similarly, to make our God manifest within us, we have to work. It's essentially the same message as Vivekananda said, that each soul is potentially divine. Our job is to let it manifest. Do it by bhakti yoga, karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jap yoga, with one, more, or all of them, and be free. So that profound message Sant Kabir Das ji gave in this simple doha. So and then he proceeds further, that God is within us, and then he re-emphasized that he is not outside. So ना मंदिर में, ना मस्जिद में, न काबे कैलाश में, ना मंदिर में, ना मस्जिद में, न काबे कैलाश में, मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में, मैं तो तेरे साथ में. So it's a futile effort to go to pilgrimages and keep looking for God outside. First realize within. If you don't realize within, you won't see God outside. So that is the message of Sant Kabir Das ji. So essentially he says, Jag sake to, means it is the same message as Vivekananda, arise, awake, and stop not. No? So you do your job, you will realize God. No? And then once you realize, what will you see? So most of the great masters who meditated on divinity, they all say that you will see a flame, like a God is residing within us, in a shape of a flame. So that divinity, on deep meditation, all masters have realized this. So our Upanishad says that the Angustamatra Purusho. See, if you see the flame, it has the shape of our thumb. Angustamatra Purusho Madhye Atmani Tishtati. Isano Bhut Bhavyasya Tato na Vijugupsate. This is our Kathopanishad. It says that the God resides, Atman resides within the body, right in the center, in the shape of a thumb. Like each one has a separate thumbprints. Similarly, each soul is different, apparently, but it's the same divinity within. So once you do it, you will realize this truth. And once you realize, tato na vijugupsate, means after that you will not be worried at all. You will be free. You will be carefree, and you will not be afraid of anything, including death. So that means you will be eternal. You will realize you are immortal. No? That's why we say that asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityur ma amritam gamaya. The same message Sant Kabir ji gave in his style. But we don't realize this divinity, and God, and Sant Kabir Das ji explains why we don't see that. And then he says that it is the curtain of mind that comes between us, means our consciousness, and our Atman. And it also, that mind which gets polluted and tainted, comes as a curtain between us and the world. That's why we see the world differently. When we came here, we all had a very clean slate, a pure mind, untainted. And that's why we love children, so that up to the age of 2, 3, 4, 5. And after that, the effect of the world, their likes, dislikes, and all the other stains come to the mind, and the mind starts getting dirty. So the mind which was clean gets tainted with the spots of rag, dvesh, abhinev, kam, krodh, lobh, moh, mad, matsar. Now all different things, our experiences, our our trauma and whatnot, and the mind gets very polluted. So we see the world through this screen of mind. That's why we each see the world differently. And this mind is sitting between us and the God. So the Sant Kabirji says that you clean up your screen. And once you start cleaning up your screen, what will happen? That is slowly you will see the God behind it. So the God divinity residing within us will become manifest. So the God is hidden because of our mind, and we can't see God, and we see the world not as it is, but the colored by our kaleidoscopic mind. So that's why Sant Kabir Das ji says, and then he describes in the next doha as that Kabira ye man malin hai. What he says, Kabira ye man malin hai, धोए छूटे ना रंग, एक छूटे सतनाम से, एक छूटे सत्संग. Kabir says that our mind is very dirty and we have polluted it, and it is not easily going to be cleaned by simply washing with water. You need to make an effort. So he recommends two detergents. That he says, एक छूटे सतनाम से, एक छूटे सत्संग. So with the chanting the name of God the divine and the company of the like-minded people who are seeking the Lord. So satsang and satnam, these two can clean the mind. Otherwise, the mind is very tricky, very difficult. So that's why he says, man lobhi man lalachi. In this doha, he includes the five characteristics of the mind, which is a problematic for all human beings. Man lobhi, man lalachi, man chanchal, man chor, मन के मते न चालिए पलक पलक मन और. He says, man lobi, mind is very greedy, mind is very lusty, man lobi, man lalachi, man chanchal, man chor, it is always restless, man chanchal, man chor, it is deceiving, it will derail you. And you don't follow your mind. Man ke mate na chaliye. Why? Palak palak man or. Every time your mind will be different. It will entice you to something. Your interest will change. Your likes, dislike, relations, everything. It is very flickering. So don't follow that. Follow your intellect, but not your mind. So that's what Sant Kabirji says. And purify mind with satsang and satnam. So that is what the Sant Kabirji explains. So we have to control our mind. So mind cannot be subdued, but mind can be trained and mind can be controlled. And mind is the reason for all our troubles, as well as the mind is an instrument to ascend further on the spiritual path. That's why Shankaracharya ji says, man eva manusyanam karanam bandhana mokshayo. Only mind, man eva, only mind, nothing else. Man eva manusyanam karanam, it is a reason for our bandhan as well as for our liberation. So the same instrument, when it is a boss, it will bind you, derail you and drag you down. And when it is controlled and trained very well, it will help you to all the way to the liberation. It is the same mind. Bondage or liberation, both happens in the mind. That saintly feeling and evil feelings both happens in mind. So that's why Sant Kabir ji says, train your mind, and Lord Krishna says, train your mind. So that is our most precious instrument, but it has to be handled that way. So Kabir Das ji gives that first instruction pertaining to the mind. Then he takes us towards Maya. So that mind is one thing. And the second is the Maya. Maya means elusive power of Lord. That is God's secretary. And that Maya Maya is a divine power of God. So all the prakriti, all that we see, all that we are made up of, that is all because of the power of the Maya. So it has two powers. One is the power to project, which is called Vikshep Sakti, and power to conceal. So it hides. It hides the divinity within us, and it projects outside the world, which is fleeting, not real, changing, and not a real source of bliss, peace, or happiness. It shows it as if it is real, and hides the divinity within us. And so that's why we cannot easily uh, know ourselves, and we have to work for it. So that is the Maya which is confusing us. So that's why here Sant Kabirji says Maya, try to conquer the Maya. So and because of Maya, beautiful two dohas now, that it what how it fools you, it is very interesting. So Kabir Das ji gives an example. Unchi koti sundar nari, सतनाम बिना हारी बाजी, कहत कबीर अंत की बारी, हाथ झाड़ कर चला जुआरी. We all get fooled with big buildings, big estates, big cars, big pompous thing, money, power, position. So Sant Kabir says, okay, that is a Maya is fooling you, my friend. So Unchi Koti means no matter how much real estate you accumulate and you have 20 buildings in Manhattan, doesn't matter. So Unchi Koti Sundar Nari, your beautiful wife, beautiful children, beautiful family. Unchi Koti Sundar Nari. But if you don't have God, whatever, Satnam Bina Hari Baji. If the God is not in your life, or you are not progressing towards, you already are a loser. Your company is going to fail, bankrupt. Satnam Bina Hari Baji. कहत कबीर अंत की बारी, हाथ झाड़ कर चला जुगारी. Like a gambler at Atlantic City loses all the money and comes out with nothing. तो हाथ झाड़ कर चला जुगारी. हाथ झाड़ कर चला भिखारी. I call भिखारी because when you have lost everything, you are a beggar. And essentially, everything is robbed out of us, and we are thrown in the funeral home. So that's what Sant Kabir tells. But Maya does not let you grasp. He says that does not let you grasp. And that's why you think that, okay, that is right. Who are you to tell me? I know it is very good. Let me have it. Okay, Sant Kabir says, have it, and then you will see what happens. So
Sir,
that
Dr. Atul Chokshi, I'm very, very grateful to you for having this fresh bridge between where we are and what message Sant Kabir has given to us. And we would like to have more sessions on Sant Kabir's dohas and the essence with you. But before we conclude, let me request you to share, in the light of what we have heard from Sant Kabir, it is the company that also makes a difference in terms of the way we would evolve, what kind of experience we will have, how we'll connect with the life. Say something about that as we conclude this session.
that's why he recommended two detergents: Satnam, God's name, and Sat Sangha. Satya Sangha means the people who are interested in knowing what is eternal, what is ultimate truth. Satya Sangha means you are getting attached to the eternal things and not to unreal things. So the people who are interested in knowing that activity is called satsang. That's what we do it every Wednesday, no? That on Zoom. So studying the scriptures, analyzing the scriptures, sharing the thoughts, and getting and enriching each other, that is called satsanga. So the Sant Kabir says, Kabira tase sang karo, Kabira tase sang karo, jore bhaje satnam, Raja Rana Chhatrapati Nam Bina Bekam. He says,
Yeah.
have the company of people who are great and with a divinity. Otherwise, even if they are millionaire, billionaire, senator, broker, no, doesn't will not take you anywhere. Kabira tase sang karo, jore bhaje satnam. Those who are seeker of God. Bhaje means seeker. Bhaje satnam. Raja, Rana, Chhatrapati, Nam Bina Bekam. If they don't have divinity in the life, they are useless. Bekam means useless. So if you do that company, you will be lost, because they are lost. You will be lost. So
Beautiful, beautiful. So very, very exciting in the modern terminology, and very uplifting and enlightening words of Sant Kabir, coming with additional insight backed by experience and realization of Dr. Atul Chokshi ji, who also founded Academy of Spiritual Sciences to help or encourage us to connect with the message of Sanatan scriptures. And in that context, Sant Kabir also has his own luminary presence. Dr. Chokshi ji, we would have more sessions on Sant Kabir. And as we conclude, anything else you would like to say?
no, there is so much to say. So whatever the time permits, we will go over. Yes, because you
Wonderful.
have to invest time. If you don't invest time, you don't get, your failure is assured. Whether you are a student or businessman or a spiritual seeker, if you don't invest time, you are done. You
So
cannot.
I would like now to address you who are with us watching it. You have invested your time, so we really appreciate that. And that is a sure sign of light coming to you. And we appreciate the presence of your light with us. Dr. Shokshi, thanking you as well as thanking all of our friends there. This is Ashok. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.